Inspired by Love is a podcast hosted by Rachel Love, dedicated to promoting inspiration, hope, and giving a healthy dose of God's love for every aspect of life. Rachel is a seasoned inspirational enthusiast who uses witty commentary and biblical truths for real-life solutions, offers business strategies, health and wealth tips, and self-love care. Unlock the power tools to dig deeper, discover your untapped potential, and live your best extraordinary life. Here's your host, Rachel Love.
Welcome to Inspired by Love. I'm Rachel Love. I'm delighted to have one of my sister friends on, Miss Martha Chapman. Martha, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you, Rachel.
I'm so glad you said yes to come on and talk about your legacy lashes.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So let's just dive in. You know, right now, it's just a lot of uncertainty in the world today.
Yes.
And I think people that follow the word and God's love, I think we kind of have escaped, all the things that are happening. So it's like we're living in our own bubble.
Yeah.
So I just kind of want you to give us a little backstory, because it's a really unique backstory on starting Legacy Lashes.
Okay. So you're very correct in saying that it's unique because my mother, unfortunately, my mom passed in 2002. Okay. But when she was alive, Rachel, she wore makeup, she wore her lashes, and she was known for it. And as a little girl, you look up to your mom anyway. And so when my mom passed, I immediately started wearing eyelashes. I'm thinking, oh, this is a daily reminder of my mother.
Yes.
And then when I had a daughter and she saw how I did my makeup every day and put on lashes every day, then when she became a young lady, she got intrigued with lashes. Moving forward,
Yes.
She attends college. She's on campus. She's getting compliments for her lashes. And one day she comes home and she says, Mom, you know what? I want to start a lash line in honor of Grandma. And I said, I love it. And so with that, Legacy Lashes came into fruition.
Now that story is spectacular, because that is a blueprint for others to follow.
Yes.
They say if you're passionate about something, to follow your passion, because
Yes.
it really leads to your purpose. So I kind of want to back up a little bit, because we've been sister friends for over 20 years now. And so I kind of know your personality and, just things about you. So I just kind of want to bring them out. I know that you are an entrepreneur at heart. So how did you kind of guide your daughter into taking this leap of faith into a business?
Well, you know what? I live by the words that I say. And I am a big faith rallier. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. Like, you can't see everything ahead. Only thing you can do is trust God. So when she mentioned that, I said, okay, let your words get into action.
Mm-hmm.
We go do this.
Okay.
We didn't know how to start it. We did the research.
Yes.
We asked a lot of questions. We made a lot of mistakes, but here we are. Standing on Jeremiah 29:11, where God says he wants to prosper us. He don't want to harm us. He want to give us hope and a what?
Future.
A future.
Future. Well, that kind of brings me to this question, because, as you know, we are currently experiencing a global pandemic.
Yes.
And people are affected. People are unemployed. People are not working.
Yes.
People are going through all kind of depression and anxiety. People are suffering, schizophrenic. They are just, inner turmoil.
Yes.
I want to remind people there is a peace. There is a hope. The Lord said, let not your heart be troubled. To believe in him. believe in Jesus, for
Yes.
he is with us. He's there. He lives inside of
Yes,
us.
he does.
So we just have to call on the name of Jesus. And guess what? You will be saved. So
Yes.
if I could leave anyone with just those words of comfort, because every day there's some kind of bad news and
Yes.
just things that your mind just gets to focusing on, and it's like that's not reality. The reality is we are here. We are the salt of the earth,
Mm.
right? And
Yeah.
so, what is salt if it loses its flavor? It's bland. It's
Yeah.
so. I think with this brand, Legacy Lashes, and I happen to be wearing a pair of Legacy Lashes today. Yes, Legacy Lashes, the Legacy brand, because you have three brands, right? It's the Rose. Is it?
Actually, we have 8.
Oh, let me let
But
you.
you know what? Instead of me naming them all,
Uh-huh.
let me give you the website.
Okay, give me the website.
Okay. So it's
www dot
www.thelegacylashes.com.
uh-huh thelegacylashes.com. So for anyone that may be listening to this podcast or viewing, please go to www.thelegacylashes.com and
Yeah.
get yourself a pair of the
Yeah.
Legacy Lashes. How about that? Was that a good commercial?
I love it.
Okay, so now how did you and your daughter seem to position yourself in the marketplace? As you know, there's tons of competition, but I think your brand and your product speaks for itself. And people often compare beauty brands either through price, through customer service, through ability to get the product, it's available. So how did you guys decide to position the brand in the marketplace?
Well, Rachel, we just stayed true to who we were. We're very selective. We want our customers to absolutely love the product.
Yes.
We want to have quality behind the product. We
Yes.
want it to be reasonable so that you can
Yes.
continue to shop with us. And lastly, the longevity. Like you're not going to just wear the lash 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. The lash lasts about 30 wearings if you take care of the lash.
Wow.
So you get your money's worth from the lash. So
Now,
with all that,
how does one take care of the lashes? Sometimes I have a bad habit of sleeping in my lashes, and my daughter really gets on me. So please share with our listeners the conditioning that we have to go through to take care of the lashes.
Okay, well, it's simple. You guys are gonna love this, okay? And it's not really hard, okay? You ready?
Good. Yeah, I'm
You
ready.
literally slowly take your lash off, right?
Mm-hmm.
If there's any excess glue, you gently take your finger and just take it off, right? And
Oh,
place it back in your Legacy Lash box.
yes.
And they'll be ready and waiting for you the next morning.
Okay.
Okay.
You know what? That is too simple to follow, and I'm just going to have to instill it into my daily routine of washing my face and moisturizing and, conditioning my lashes because I do have a little brush. So I do try to take care of my lashes and my brows. We have to wear these masks, and I'm like, I like to have my mask on, but I also like to have my lashes and my brows. So that stands out.
I agree. I agree.
So what else could you give someone who's interested in starting a beauty brand?
I would say do research. Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
Even look at other websites and get ideas because think about this. There's not one hamburger stand, right? There's McDonald's, there's In-N-Out, there's Burger King and all that, but they all have different flavors that draw one in. right? So you can
Yes.
take a little bit of this and a little bit of that from whatever website you stumble on
Right.
and create your own legacy or masterpiece. Let me say that, your own masterpiece, and you own it. But because nothing is new under the sun, right? Nothing.
Nothing is new under the sun. Amen
No.
to that. So let's talk about beauty from the inside out, because we focus this series, the beauty. I've called your your segment "Bossy Beauty and Business" because yes, you are bossy in the sense you've taken charge of your destiny and you exude, you are the epitome of beauty and you are running a business. So I want to talk about beauty from the inside out because we focus so much, society has us focusing on the outside, our skin color, what shade we are, if you're light skin, if you're dark skin, but we know that beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Yes.
We're made in the image of God. So let's talk about how God sees us, and hopefully we can help someone who's maybe not feeling comfortable about their hair, their skin, who they are, their features, their lips. You know, it's like, come on now, let's just be real. Let's just keep it real, Martha. Tell them about how the beauty is from the inside out.
Oh, okay. The beauty from the inside is warm. You know
Yeah.
why? Because God lives in us.
Yes.
So if God lives in you, it's a safe place in you. And then do some affirmations.
Yes.
Remind yourself how God took the time to create you. So you're a masterpiece, okay? A unique masterpiece
A
that God took
masterpiece.
the time
Wow.
to create. And then once you realize that you exude so many different things that one does not, like example, I have a set of fingerprints. Rachel, hold up your hand. You have a set. Do you not know that your fingerprints aren't the same as mine?
Right.
That's how uniquely made that we
Yes.
are.
Yes.
So just own the fact that you're different.
Yes.
Own the fact that you are destined for greatness and believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in you, who's going to believe in you?
Exactly. Exactly, Martha. That is it.
That's it.
Woo!
That's it.
That's a mouthful right there. That's your whole life. Get
Yes.
your whole life right there.
Yes.
You just said it. So we realize that now we are a masterpiece. We're made in the image of God. We have His DNA.
Yes.
So for those that are maybe not in the family of God and say, well, I want to become a member of the family. You know, I want to join the family. It's real simple. It's real easy. You just go to your word in Romans 10:9 and 10, and it says, if thou shalt confess the Lord Jesus and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. It's that simple. It's that simple. And so people feel like they have to change who they are. I have to do something or I have to be something else. No, God says, come as you are.
Yes.
He will begin to wash you and cleanse you as you really begin to delve into that word. So that is an awesome, awesome piece, my friend. I really appreciate that. So Martha, as we're talking about beauty from the inside out, can you share some other things that maybe you even question with yourself and you instilled in your child, as far as her becoming a young woman and growing up from young to old now. She's a young, our daughters are about the same age. So I'm constantly finding myself talking to her and, it's like, I don't know what's going on in her mind, but I think a comparison that we see on social media. And I always tell her, honey, you are beautiful. there's nothing, there's nothing ugly about you, but I think in her mind, she's trying to compare to the next person. And so I really want to instill that God made you just the way you are and you're beautiful.
Yeah.
So have you had to have those conversations with your daughter?
Oh,
And,
yes. Oh, yes. Especially peer pressure.
uh-huh.
Because peer pressure gets you off course, okay? And you're right. We'll start looking around. When you look around, that's when you start losing the battle. You got to have your eye tunnel vision, okay?
Ooh, come on
Because
now.
we're in a race of life, right?
Yes.
And I'm not going to get to the finish line the same time you go get to the finish line. But as long as we get to the finish line,
To the
meaning
finish line.
keep trying, keep going. You might get tired. You might get winded. You might even stumble. You might even fall. But you got to get back up and you got to keep finishing the race. The race is not given to the what, Rachel?
To the swift.
But it's to the what?
Honey, it is to the strong in the Lord and the power of his might. So we got to run our race. It's
and
an
run it
individual
well.
race, and it's
Run it
not a
well.
sprint. It's
No.
a marathon.
It's a marathon.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, Martha, can you share 3 takeaways, just words of encouragement? Because I think that's your forte. That's your vein, and that's one of your gifts, that you are an encourager. So encourage someone that's maybe not feeling their best, but they want to match how they feel inside. So let them know it's coming from the inside.
Yeah, okay. Well, let me just start off by saying that when one feels like you cannot go on, right? That's more reason to go on. That's one. And then 2, when you want to give up, that means you're that close. It's so close that if you stop, you'll miss it.
Yes.
And then lastly, nothing worth anything comes easy. You have to put in the work. You will come across different things that's go block it or even try to stop it. That means it's so much greatness in that thing until it's not even an option at this point. You have to endure.
Yes.
And complete what you're setting out to do. And if one says, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, then you need to sit still, be quiet, close your eyes, spend some time with God. He will reveal it to you.
Amen.
He will.
Wow. I just want to say the podcast was birthed out of that. Wow. Because I know I have lots of talents, I have strengths, but it was like, Lord, I just need something that I can do from home, that I can be an encouragement, that I can just let my light shine. And it was that very thing where I sat for 6 weeks at the start of the pandemic. And on the 6th week is when I saw it. I saw the name. And he just told me the podcast. And I'm like, well, Lord, yes. I'm excited. And so he was saying, I'm already equipped. It's already.
I love it.
So begin to draw it out. And I think that's the main thing that I want to just piggyback on what you said. Whatever is in us, we have to draw it out.
Yes.
It means we have to put our hand to the plow and not look back, not get weary in well-doing, because in due season, and you don't know how long you might have to be in the field planting those seeds. You don't know when the harvest is going to come, but it does show up. And when it shows up, it's just like heavenly rain. It's just raining, the goodness, the favor, all of that. God said is for us.
Yes.
And I just want to go back to Jeremiah 29:11, because I think that's a foundational scripture that even though he was speaking to Jeremiah, he was speaking to all of us. He
Yes.
told Jeremiah in 1:5, I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. So that's a word to me. That means something to me. God knew me before I got on this earth.
Yes.
He knew me and established me and anointed me. And so everything I put my hands to do, he says, it shall prosper.
I love it.
I have good success. And so, and that's all I'm speaking on the legacy lashes, that you and your daughter, you guys will have good success. The brand will outlast and live you both. You will leave a legacy as your mother started for your children's children to follow. We're talking about generational wealth, you
Yes.
know, and this is what we have to tap into right now. We as African Americans, it's time to go into ownership,
Yes.
own our businesses, and teach our children how to run a successful business. So I just definitely tip my hat off to you, my sister. Just, bringing your children up in the way they should go, because when they get old, they won't depart from it. And I just want to thank you for coming on and blessing the show today. Enlightening us about the legacy lashes, enlighten us about care for your lashes, enlighten us about the beauty from within. And I think it's so important that we remember we are created in the image and likeness of God. All of us, no matter what color, nationality, race, or creed, we are created in the image and likeness of God. So there's nothing too hard that you can accomplish. Anything that we put our hands to do, it shall prosper.
Yes.
How about that?
I love it.
Well, Martha, I thank you for coming on, and I will always leave my listeners with this. Be inspired by love. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for tuning in to Inspired by Love. Join us every Wednesday for the juice to be inspired. Like, follow, and share this podcast. Be sure to leave a positive rating.